guys.
Let's talk about it. Now let's get chatty. Let's talk about it.
I just didn't want to be alive anymore. And that was a very clear and real and frightening, constant thought. And I remember how he just cradled me, and I went to the institution, and I said that I needed to go somewhere to get help, and I was told that I couldn't, that it wouldn't be good for the institution. I share this because there's so many people who are afraid to voice that they need help. And I know personally how hard it is to not just voice it, but when you voice it, to be told no. But we had to go to this event, and I remember him saying, "I don't think you can go." And I said, "I can't be left alone."
I can understand how people can push you to a place where you feel so possibly unwanted or invaluable, where you're just like, I don't want to no longer exist. So I can understand her frame of mind, I feel like. And it's hard to say for me to say understand, because I've never been in that situation or in something like that. But for her to say that she was pushed to that dark space says that she was around some toxic stuff.
Well, I think you have to understand also that she, from her regular life now being royalty, it's a wholly, totally, completely like different standard of living. And so now that you're in something, you have to kind of conform yourself and your usual life and daily activities to something different. And I think her ethnicity did not help the situation. And I think, in my opinion, I feel like it may be different if she was of another color. But I understand sometimes you can be overwhelmed. It may have been a lot for her. She was overwhelmed. It was just so many different dynamics that went into her, making her feel that way.
Yeah, because it's like a tipsy. It's like you go in one direction and then you're switching. You go into a whole bunch of like protocol. This we'll have to walk this way. You have to talk this way. You got to stand this way. Yeah. So it's like it's a complete change. So you're dealing with change, and then you're dealing with opposition as far as like like you said, the race and everything. So I can understand how that can mess with your mind, because if you're constantly dealing with it on a daily basis, you constantly have to battle it on a daily basis, that can affect your mind.
Oh yeah.
It can affect your mind, and then you're constantly around people that look at you a certain way, or they have little comments.
Yeah, you probably gotta deal with snarls, the eye, people giving you the eye.
And then when people feel entitled about certain things, they can come at you a little sideways.
A little sideways.
So
Those months when I was pregnant, all around this same time, so we have in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title, and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?
And
who is having that conversation with you?
color of skin. Color of the skin? Well, first of all, let me say, black is beautiful. That's number one. When you've gotten to the point to where you've accepted someone and you know their race, and you bring it up in a way to where it seems to be belittling, it's kind of like, mentally, even if you're strong, it kind of make you want to just go in a little shell for a moment, But let me say this again, black is beautiful.
It is. It
So are you guys, ladies, are you shocked that there would have been a question about the tone of the child's skin?
Shocked but not surprised.
I think it's very interesting considering the background of African American people. We are not looked at as royalty, and
Who said?
no, I'm saying from society, from slavery on, you know, all the way on up, we're not looked at as royalty. So I think the fact that like a black child, because they say like if you have black in you, you're kind of considered black anyway, regardless if you're mixed. So I feel like in their eyes it's looked at as, hey, now a black child will be royalty, and that has not been in England.
It's never been done before. It's never been. And she kept referring back to, she said, the institution. So from just for her using those words, my take on it is the institution has a set of the rules and guidelines and protocols they have to follow, and then the family does as well. So you have people telling the family, you can't, just like
How it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So I think that, what were we saying? I think that it's not surprising, and I feel like that is just something you'd be curious, even as, you know, being my skin color, you do when you're pregnant, like I kind of wonder what your baby's gonna look like. So I don't see, you know, I really don't necessarily see, I'm not gonna say nothing wrong with that, but it's shocking but not surprising. You know, you're like, oh, okay, well, yeah.
So you don't think it was negative, like a negative connotation to it?
It couldn't, for me, I don't feel like it could have been a negative tone, because you're probably like, well, the baby's, how dark is the baby gonna be? You're wondering, you know, you got like a mixed breed coming in. How is the baby gonna look? You've never seen it. So you start asking curious questions.
But if it's not a negative connotation, then why would not the child receive security?
And a title.
And right, you don't receive no position. So that's almost like you're singling him out away from the royal family as if he's almost like trash. A vagabond. No, like for real, like almost like, yes. So why isn't he given the same right of the royal family?
Well, I think it is. I think there is some structure to it. But to say that and then you know that she's married into the family,
right,
and say that it is like, okay, yeah. Because at first I was like, why are they leaving? Why are they stepping down? Well, you didn't know what was going on.
Right.
From my understanding, from what I remember, it's like, why are they leaving? Why are they moving? Moving back, moving out.
You're like, oh, something happened. Something happened.
I got in my mind when I first heard the story, I was just like, why would you go into the family and then you separate yourself from the family?
She probably thought she was going to be received differently. She probably, you seen Kate, right? Her name is Kate, right?
Kate,
The way she was received, the way Kate kind of seemed like she adjusted well. So she probably had those same Kate expectations. And of course we see it was not
different.
It was very different.
At the time it was awkward. I was a bit shocked.
Can you tell us what the question was?
He was shocked too.
I'm not comfortable sharing that.
The strain, Harry and Meghan say,
Which he should,
ultimately
in my
driving
opinion.
them away from the UK and from the royal family.
When we were in Canada, I had 3 conversations with my grandmother and 2 conversations with my father before he stopped taking my calls. By that point I took matters into my own hands. It was like, I need to do this for my family.
The couple say the British press played a major role. A story about Meghan making Kate cry, one of many Meghan says was untrue.
Look at Meghan.
Was there a situation where she might have cried or she could have cried?
No, the reverse happened.
Crucially, the couple say they felt unprotected. The scars are clear.
You said that you love your brother and always will love your brother. You didn't tell me what the relationship is now, though.
The relationship is space at the moment. And, you know, time heals all things, hopefully.
That was nice that they said, well, the latter end of that, they still have a good relationship with the queen. So
that makes you think that it came from the brother-in-law, from the
queen.
brother and
I'm doing a little investigation, context clues. And then they said how he said, but the relationship between him and his brother is space, and I think that's around the board in any family. You know, you kind of have differences, and all you can do sometimes is to give each other just a little space, just a little bit of space.
That's very interesting just to watch, though, to see her, how she is kind of living out through the royal family, and how roles have changed, how it's just very like weird in a way, but it's very interesting, much of the story.
You know, this makes me think about relationships period. Sometimes when it comes to like a person's beliefs or the image that they want to portray, right? When you think about it, the first thing I think about is a movie, Color Purple, where the father was a pastor and the daughter was a secular singer, right?
Right.
And he kind of turned himself away from her because of her lifestyle, right? And she wanted a relationship with her father, but she wanted to also live this certain lifestyle.
Right.
So that kind of stuff can go into different areas of life. It just makes you think about this, just a relationship and the picture that you try to paint. You know, you love your child and you want your child to live according to how you raised them.
Right, exactly.
You know, and then there's a little bit of that disappointment where they kind of turn from how you've raised them.
Right.
And you kind of like, but do you not continue to show them love?
Yeah.
Do you not continue to have a relationship in spite of how you feel about the way they're living? So that can kind of go into a lot of different areas of life.
That was good.
Yeah.
That's real good. That is real good. Because sometimes it's hard to step away from what you taught them and then from who they are. You're like, well, I put this in you. I trained you better. You know, people say, I taught you better than that.
But in this, I feel like it's almost like the family almost kind of turned away from them, though. So then do you really generally turn yourself away from your family if they go against what they are taught to be, or how how they were raised? Do you turn your back against them? Do you go against them, or do you just continue to show them love? You know, a lot of people, and that makes me think of how people live alternative lifestyles from what they are raised or how they were taught. And you often hear that the children are no longer a part of the family. The mother will stop talking to them, the father will stop talking to them. They are no longer claimed as a son or a daughter.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. And I know it may be hard for parents, but then at the same time, in my mind, it's like, do you turn away from them for their differences?
Sometimes it takes, he said, what did he say at the end there? He said, time heals all wounds. He said,
hopefully.
I think that, and I'll speak from experience, my personal dealings, and is that sometimes people need time to adjust. You may do something different, give them time to adjust, and they can't get on board like that. They can't just up and like your fiance
just right
or your
away.
husband.
Right.
Give them time to adjust.
Yeah.
Give them time to feel at that person, because where you like them, you love them, they have your trust. They have to gain your family's trust. They have to gain your family's respect and all that. So give them time to adjust. You don't just, hey everybody, we out here like this.
This is what it is, and you gotta like it.
Yeah. You give them time to adjust. And I'm that kind of person. I need time to adjust.
You gotta like it or not.
Eat the cake out of me.
So that's patience on both sides.
Yeah, it is.
This makes me think about a story of a young lady I met not too long ago, where her family was there for her, provided opportunity for her, and she decided to just live a certain way. And I could tell that there were some things behind what she didn't want to say, but there were some things behind it. But she said that her family was like, look, we've paid for your college, you didn't finish that. We paid for this. You you know, you're acting as if you're not gonna finish this.
Oh, wow.
You're living this life with this young man. We're not happy about it. And the dad was like, this is it. There's no more support. I'm not gonna give you any more support. And she picked up and left somewhere, I believe because she no longer came back to the job. But it just makes you think about like just I guess it makes you think about what you can kind of like you kind of give, and then you finally realize that person is just not gotten to the point to where they see what they have you know, like they see what they're getting. They don't see what they're getting is love.
Yeah, right.
Support is love. And so it's just like, you know, if you're gonna constantly, we're giving you support, but you're gonna constantly live your life this way, and you keep getting this result, we keep being here for you, we keep getting this result, keep being here for you, well then we're gonna let you figure it out.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, this is awesome. Like just looking into the dynamics and even seeing the interviews and the things that she was willing to talk about. It's very interesting for me, you guys. I don't know if you haven't seen the interview, go watch it because it's very interesting.
Yes.
Thank you guys for tuning in once again to Now Let's Get Chatty.
Hey, so if you haven't subscribed yet, do so right now. Click like, comment, and share, and we'll see you all next time. Mwah!